And welcome into another episode of Ronin's Den. Tonight it is me, Eric, and my partner Steve, and we're going to be talking about value in TTRPGs, the dollars and cents, since the new 2024 books for D&D are coming out. And I thought Ubisoft was coming out with a new video game when I looked at everything, to be completely honest.
Yeah, there's a little bit of sticker shock in my opinion, with the D&D. What edition is it? D&D 1 D&D 2024. They don't even have a proper name.
D&D 1.
Is it 5th edition? Is it 5.5? Is it 1 D&D, which is what it was supposed to be? But now it's not. It's just D&D 2024. They don't have a name.
Well, it's because it's
D&D.
It's because it's Dungeons and Dragons, the new edition that we don't have a name for. That's totally not a new edition, but completely is a new edition. But everything's backwards compatible with your old stuff, and the stuff that you are going to have before you can bring forward, so it's backwards and forwards compatible. And we're totally not just doing this to get you to spend an obscene amount of money on new books edition. Actually, they need to shorten that up quite a bit. Like,
I just think they should just call it D&D. Just D&D, straight D&D. It's a little ridiculous. So Duality, what are those prices?
Well, oh man, so here we go. This is an article over from PC Gamer. Harvey Randall wrote it. And they're talking, we'll get to the prices in a minute, because there's some other things about this that really bug me besides the prices. And the article, it sums it up quite nicely. Oh, for goodness sake, D&D is in early access periods, pre-order bonuses now, and like a 3D model of a virtual dragon for a tabletop that doesn't exist yet. They are going full video game pre-order release packages on this, and depending on how you purchase the books, it's down here right in this section. It says to properly lay out the
chart
pricing.
Up above, wasn't there?
There was a chart, but that doesn't have the pricing on it. That gives you the what's included with the bundles. So the 2024 Player's Handbook digital only comes with 12 dice sets, 10 frames, 5 backdrops, an early access period of 2 weeks. For the master tier, that is your subscription to D&D Beyond. So not only do they want you to pre-order this shit, they want you to have a subscription to D&D Beyond as well. And then it's a 1 week if you only have the hero tier. There are no savings for just ordering the digital version of the Player's Handbook. If you do the 2024 Player's Handbook plus digital and physical bundle, it's all the same stuff, but you save $20. If you go with the 2024 core rule books, digital plus physical, so all three of them, pre-ordering them, which I will get on the release schedule on this too, because this bugs me. They're not releasing them all at the same time. You get 15 sets of digital dice, 34 frames, 15 backdrops, 2 week early access to your PDFs, one if you have master tier, 1 week if you have the hero tier, and you save $60 on the bundle. You also get Dragons of D&D. It's a digital art book, and the Gold Dragon digital mini for the upcoming 3D virtual tabletop that doesn't exist yet. It doesn't. You can't use it as of right now when you're pre-ordering it. It's not there. It's kind of like pre-ordering a video game for a console that doesn't exist yet. I mean,
yeah,
whatever. But going
go
back
down to that pricing, man.
Yeah, so if you go back down, he laid it out pretty well, and it's to properly lay out the pricing, which the chart doesn't even really do beyond the savings, which is true. There's a reason they didn't put the dollars and cents there. Pre-ordering the digital and physical versions of the Player's Handbook, Dungeon Master Guide, and Monster Manual on the D&D Beyond storefront individually will run you around $80 a pop. or $240 total. That is ludicrous for 3 books.
It's bonkers.
That is absolutely
That's crazy.
insane.
That's
is
crazy
nuts.
talk.
Yeah. Now the bundle, if you pre-order it and you get the bundle, the savings there of $60 does knock it down to $180, which is roughly what D&D books like the bundle costs now for what's out, at least from what I was able to see looking around. Like
That would
160 to
technically be
180.
$60 a book.
Yeah, which is
That'd be
still
$60 a book.
which is still bonkers. That's
pretty high, man.
it's nuts. And then the extras you get are digital dice. They're not real dice. They're digital dice, digital character frames, digital backdrops. These are just cosmetic things for the virtual tabletop that doesn't exist yet. And they want you to have a subscription model, either a hero subscription, which is going to be around $2 a month, or a master subscription, which is around $5 a month. So not only do you have to buy the books, they want you to spend money monthly to have access to the D&D Beyond stuff and the virtual tabletop. The fuck? What? Like,
Roll20's free, bitches.
Roll20 is free. If you want to go with something more robust, you can get Foundry, which is $55, one-time purchase. You own it. There are no subscriptions. And yes, there are some paid premium modules that you could get for Foundry, but there are so many free ones, it doesn't even matter. And in there, we're talking dice, frames, animations, like all the stuff you need to program your own virtual tabletop to make it like customized, fun, yours. Take your D&D or your Pathfinder or whatever video game you want and tabletop game you want and make it into nearly a video game. We used it for our Cyborg game, and we had digital advertisements playing on the side of the chat bar the whole time. We had sounds going on.
They were funny.
Yeah, it's a very good system. One-time charge. I don't know if there's going to be any one-time charges or anything for the platform for Dungeons and Dragons proprietary tabletop, but with a subscription model and these price tags, I
doubt it.
I wouldn't put it past.
I don't trust Wizards of the Coast to do something that's beneficial to the players.
Neither do I.
I don't trust them. So I don't think it's going to be the case. But let's talk about that for a minute. If you don't pre-order, the books are $80 each. That is absurd.
Yeah.
60, okay. I mean, the D&D books now are 60. I don't think they're worth 60. I don't think the D&D books specifically now are worth 20. The bindings are terrible. All the art is, I mean, they get art, but like you're paying, let's look at Spelljammer, your favorite one that was botched. How much did that whole set cost you? And each book was 96 pages.
I don't remember, but I want to say it was north of $70.
I think it was $79.99 when it released. If I can't remember, I didn't buy it.
I can't remember either.
But $79.99 for 96 times 3, so roughly 300 pages. So you were paying $80 for 300 pages, which is about what you're going to get here. And there was nothing in those books that was worth $80.
Oh, and I felt specifically cheated with Spelljammer just because it was brought up for a number of reasons. Now, the original box set release was about the same page count. Okay, like I'll be completely honest. The 2E box set was the same page count, except you got so much more information in those books. There was so much setting, so many unique mechanics that are specific to the Spelljammer setting. It had a small monster manual. It wasn't anything like what we got in the Booze Astral Menagerie, but it was sufficient. There were more spelljamming helm types. Like there was just a lot more to the books back then. Also, oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, almost sneezed there. It came with like poster-sized maps as well. Like those box sets that you got from the TSR era were worth the money. The things that we get now, they're just not. I don't feel the value in them at all. The quality,
especially if when you're looking at these 5e books for the price, I've not felt satisfied with anything that 5e has put out. Maybe since Tasha's, and even Tasha's, I was a little about.
yeah.
But if I'm gonna pay this kind of money, I want to get exceptional, right? Like I want things that are extremely worth their money. Gonna bring up MCDM real quick, even though we didn't plan on it. I backed Flea Mortals at the I believe it was the $55 tier, maybe it was 60. I got the Flea Mortals Monster Manual book, which made me throw away my Monster Manual book for 5e because Flea Mortals is infinitely better. I got new rules, new monsters, and because they couldn't fit everything into the book, I got a second book in PDF form. I was told I could buy it at cost to print it, but basically I got a full book, the PDF of that book, and a PDF of another book for $55, maybe 60. I can't remember exactly what it was. Yeah. But that's bang for my buck. Like that is worth the money that I'm paying.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay $70 for what Wizards of the Coast has put out, and their binding is terrible. How many of these D&D books are falling apart?
Well, that's what I was
going
to say.
It's not quality.
That's what I was going to say. So I have now I'm not going to talk about my Player's Handbook, my DMG, and Monster Manual from 2nd edition. They're in kind of rough shape. But those books are 30 years old. They were in and out of a backpack nearly every single day for the better part of 20 years. I will bring up my Council of Worms book and my Deities and Demigods book. Actually, I'm tempted to go grab my D&D and Demigods book off the shelf. That book was printed in the 70s. It was the 70s, the early 80s, and its binding the book is in mint condition. Like it's in great condition, and I use it. My D&D books are already the bindings are starting to crack. The pages, like you could see like the sewn in bit, like starting to pop out some, and the pages are getting loose. And these books aren't even 10 years old. Like the 40-year-old book is in great shape. My 7-year-old book that hasn't been used nearly as much and basically sits on the shelf is falling apart. What the hell? Like,
and I think this is where we're going to segue. Well, but when you look at the size of Wizards of the Coast, Hasbro, the amount of money they are making, they're $1 billion corporation. For them to charge this amount of money with that poor of quality, when there are other companies out there that are charging a fraction of the price, a fraction of it for better quality, better bang for your buck, it's absurd. And like I think we have a few lined up that we're gonna go through.
Yep.
But it's crazy to me. That people, and then there are people that defend this. Yeah. They're like, well, if you think about inflation and how much the books were before, this makes sense. No,
it
don't
doesn't.
Defend the $1 billion corporation.
I actually
when there are
that.
Small print.
Yeah, I had somebody do that when I brought this up on TikTok. I was like, this is absurd. Like, enjoy your overpriced crap, people. And this pretty popular creator who's, generally a nice dude. Like he puts out positive content. He doesn't chase the outrage train trying to get the rage views and, stir the pot with the cyclical discourse. Like he's generally a good dude. Defended Wizards of the Coast. He's like, well, and it's the same thing you just said. Well, if you factor in for inflation, the 3 ebooks back in this year cost this much, and bringing them forward to today, this is how much they cost, and the new ones are going to be. So, I mean, it seems reasonable. No, it fucking doesn't. And we'll show some examples here in just a moment of why it's not reasonable. And to say, I can't even think of an excuse of what you could say with, well, that company is X. Like, multi-billion-dollar company versus in some of these, one of these at least, the guy publishes out of his freaking office at home. Like, he doesn't have a printing press, and we're gonna show you a few examples of these.
And before we get to that, I also want to point out the fact that all of these ones we're going to show, when you buy the physical product, you get the PDF, the digital copy, for free. And you get the PDF file that you can save permanently. The digital copies on D&D Beyond, you don't get to keep. You don't own them. They can take them away.
That is an
whenever they want.
Yes, so that's really important to bring up too, because they've already shown that they're willing to discontinue books and remove them from the marketplace. Volos and Mordekians are no longer available. If you already bought them, you can gain access to them until they decide they don't want you to. But they did that to force the purchase of Mordekian's Monsters of the Multiverse. When they had their messed up, Hadozi, like, completely insensitive racist stuff published, they went in and edited that out of the new version of the book that's on D&D Beyond. So I don't trust them not to pull this revisionist stuff where they're like, oh, we never did that. And there's no proof of their blunders because it's all digital. It's on D&D Beyond. They just edit it when they want. And if they want to force you to purchase the new version of a book that's coming out, which I can definitely see Wizards of the Coast going, we're no longer selling 5e base on D&D Beyond. The only thing available is the 2024 handbook. And then on this date, we're going to sunset your ability to regain access to the old stuff. Apple did it with the iPods. Certain iPods just aged out. Are they capable of playing MP3s still? Absolutely. Can you use them on iTunes? Absolutely not. Why? Fuck you. That's why. And I could see Wizards of the Coast doing something like that.
100%. Like it's this slippery slope that digital content, and it doesn't have to be this way.
No. And I do want to say this is really important. Like, I don't enjoy shitting on D&D and Wizards of the Coast. If it wasn't for Dungeons and Dragons, I never would have gotten into the tabletop hobby. And it was my whole personality for years. Like, I'm not just doing this because it's like trendy to crap on D&D nowadays. It's like, no, I want to like the game that got me into this hobby that I love. The company has ruined that for me, though. It is completely ruined.
I want D&D to be better. I want it to be what it was before. Like, it was always a cash grab.
Yeah.
I get that. The goal was always to make money. But you could tell that the people that were writing it and building it back, 2nd edition, 3rd edition, even in 4th edition, honestly, the people that were writing it cared.
Yeah.
They liked what they were doing. Now it seems like it's this corporate push to just make more as quickly as possible. No love, no heart. And I wanted to go back to where it was people that loved what they were doing and having the resources and the time to do it properly.
Yes.
And that's why I'm shitting on them, is because I think they can be better. They're $1 billion corporation. They could do amazing things. But they're just actively not.
Absolutely. So let's segue to the first example of you could totally do better. Like Wizards, like this pricing model does not need to exist. The first example I'm going to bring up is probably the one that doesn't have as much eyes on it, and it's going to be basic fantasy. This is one that I added to my bookshelf. Basic Fantasy is a little bit more on the OSR side of things. It's, in my opinion, if you take the best parts of like second edition and marry it to third edition with the quality of life improvements. As a company, though, they put out every single one of their PDF books for free. You never need to purchase this game. Never need to purchase the core book, the monster books, the extra equipment books, the whatevers, the adventure modules. Anything that they make, they put out available on their website with a link directly through to DriveThruRPG to download the PDF for free. If you want to, you can purchase a physical copy. And the physical copy for the soft cover with the PDF is $8.45. If you want the hardcover, and I'm just going with the core rule books for this one, but if you want the hardcover with the PDF, it is $13.75.
What is the justification for Wizards of the Coast when Basic Fantasy, everything's free?
And if we look here on their download
You don't
page,
have to pay a dime.
No, if you look on your download page, everything right there.
But here's the other thing that I think a lot of companies... so Pathfinder, you can get all of their stuff for free online on their SRD. Mm-hmm. You can play Pathfinder for free.
Yes.
Granted, their books are more expensive, but you can play the game for free through the SRD, Pathfinder 1E and 2E. But what that's doing is it's giving people the opportunity to demo the game, to see, is this what I like? And if you like it, a lot of people want physical copies to put on a shelf, and they're going to go buy them. There is a business model to giving the game away.
Yes.
Giving it away for free. Now, granted, not every company should do that. I'm not saying that you have to do it or you should, but obviously it can be done.
And there's definitely a benefit for it.
Yeah. And they keep coming out with products, so it's not like they're losing money. They're making money. Granted, they're not making millions or billions of dollars, but they're making money.
Let's go to one of your ones from Free League. Dragonbane.
All right. So Dragonbane is kind of the more D&D style game from Free League Publishing. They have a box set for Dragonsbane for $51.35, where you get the book, an adventure book, pre-generated characters, a battle map, a map fully in color of the area, tokens like standees, little miniature standees, cards for magic items, actions, and initiative tracking, as well as a set of dice. You get all of that for $51.
Yeah.
All of it, $51. Cheaper than D&D's one book. Everything you need to play, everything. You buy this box set, you sit down at the table, you have pre-generated characters, you have character sheets, you have the rule book, you have an adventure book with 11 already built adventures. You can play. Just buy the box, sit down, you're playing.
Yeah.
That is incredible. It is such a great deal. And they do it for cheaper than D&D. Like, what negative is there to this?
None. Like, I'm looking at this. I moved over to the image that shows everything you get for that dollar value. And it's just absolutely bonkers to me that more people haven't picked this up just because of the price card to try things out.
Yeah. And there's another Free League game. Let's switch to that one, which is Forbidden Lands. Forbidden Lands for $59.93, a little more expensive. But You get 2 books, the player's guide, the game master's guide. You get a map with a bunch of stickers because Forbidden Lands is all about exploration. So they give you a bunch of stickers to put on your map to show the places the players have found, as well as a character generator book, character sheets, and everything you need to play the game, minus some dice. But this is a great deal for $59.93. You get both books, a map, stickers, and a character generator, as well as character sheets for less than a D&D book.
Yeah.
The new D&D books are too expensive. And Free League is doing box sets, which are fantastic. There's nothing bad about a box set, in my opinion. And
I love box sets.
the fact that a smaller company like Free League can do this, why can't Wizards of the Coast?
Yeah. You know, and let's talk about one of my favorites, because and one of the ones we're running here on Ronin's Den on an every other Monday basis, Fabula Ultima. Fabula Ultima is an amazing game published by a really ethical guy, great company. It's small. I don't want to say it's indie, but they are small. Like, this is a teeny tiny company.
Need games.
Yep. $30 for the core book. And that is all you need in order to play the game. $30 on Amazon.
No more. Or $6.30 for the press start book for
Now,
print.
here's the
but
thing.
you can get the press start one for free.
I was going to say, Press Start is their quick start guide to test drive the system. You can get that for free on DriveThruRPG as a PDF. Now, they do have the High Fantasy Atlas here on this screen as well, and there is a Tech Fantasy Atlas. These are supplements. These are not necessary to play. They're just additional informations and how-tos and some extra classes specific to a certain type of fantasy play, whether that is high fantasy, like your D&D style stuff, Record of the Lodos War, Chrono Trigger, or tech fantasy is the one that just came out, which is more of your anime robots and Gundam style stuff. Still with magic involved, of course, but those are about $25. But $30, or if you want the PDF, $14, $15 on DriveThruRPG. And everything you need is in that core book.
And if you buy the book, you get access to the PDF.
Yes.
They give you a code to get the PDF for free.
Mm-hmm. Which is awesome.
You get the PDF with it. And Fabula Ultima is such a great, fun little system. It's fun. It's easy to pick up and learn. It's so simple, so great, and it's cheap. I'm sorry, $25 for a book is cheap. Yeah. That's really inexpensive. And you have the book. It's a quality book. It's not like it's junk.
No, it's a nice soft cover book. It comes with a cover jacket on it, like a book cover already. So it protects the actual cover of the book. And it's a nice piece of artwork. What you see on that picture right here is the jacket. And the other thing is, I've actually talked to their customer service through their Facebook. I don't know exactly who I spoke to there, but I had just a question. You know, when is the print copy of Techno Fantasy coming out? I didn't expect to get an answer just hitting some random company's Facebook page, right? I was in a 20-minute chat with this person about the game and when it was coming, like the new piece was coming out, and they answered questions about rules just because I was like, hey, since I got you here, you mind if I ask you a couple of quick questions? And they're like, no, go for it. What's up? Great company.
And that's another thing. They want you to play their game.
Yeah.
They want you to learn. They want you to they want to grow and be popular, and they took the time to be like, hey, this is that. And I'm going to throw some shade to a company right now, and I probably shouldn't, but I'm going to. Kobold Press's customer service is not good.
No, it's not.
They came out with a 5e clone called Tales of the Valiant. And when it went to Kickstarter, I had questions. I had a lot of questions. And when I asked my questions, You're charging $60 per book. I already own the 5e rule books. What are you doing differently within this system to justify the $60 price tag? I think that's a reasonable question. I don't think I was out of line. I don't think that was overstepping. I think that is a logical, straightforward question. If I'm going to invest in this TTRPG of yours, what am I getting for my $60? Because I don't see the value right now. I need someone to show it to me. And their response was, if you don't want the books, don't buy them.
Yeah. That's a dog.
Well, I'm definitely not buying them now.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not buying them now. So bigger companies, it's just, I like these small companies like Fabula Ultima where you get these nice responses and they're willing to talk to you and chat with you and help you learn and give you answers to questions. When companies like Cobalt Press, Wizards of the Coast, they don't give a shit. You're just a number.
Yeah. Now, I want to talk about the last one here I'm going to bring up is a game that we love here over on Ronin's Den. We talk about it endlessly.
All the time.
All the time. The creator is a good friend of ours, and that is The Legends of Kralis. The Legends of Kralis has an amazing price structure. I mean, let's just be honest. I'm going to click on the bestiary here. Bestiary. The PDF is $5. Just $5 for the PDF. Now, I don't know why you would buy the soft cover or hardcover without the PDF included, because
they're the same price.
They're the same price. Yeah. You want to get the soft cover black and white book? It's $15. You want the PDF included with it for free? It's $15. You want the hardcover? $25. You want the PDF included? Yeah, that's free. It's still $25 for both. And that's true for all three of the books that go in the 3-book set for this: the Player's Handbook, the Game Master Guide, and the Bestiary. They're $15 for the soft cover and PDF and $25 for the hardcover and PDF. You can get the entire set of books for $45 with PDFs.
Or $75 if you want to go to the hardcovers.
Yeah, or $75 with hardcovers.
$75 for all three with the PDFs.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, folks, they're books.
Yes.
These are thick, well-done books. And it's not like Wizards of the Coast where you have multiple full pages of pictures. Like, look at the player's guide.
Yeah.
All words, not pages of pictures. Granted, there are pictures in here, but instead, I'm cutting out. But instead of like a whole page of art, you get a little dinky little picture showing something. These books are chocked full. You are getting your absolute bang for your buck. $75 for the hardcover, $45 if you buy all three soft covers. And if you buy the PDFs, you're $15 in for three almost 400-page tomes.
Yes.
There is no better deal in TTRPGs right now than this if you like a crunchier system with a lot of purely defined rules. You can't beat it.
No.
You cannot beat it. Also, I'm going to give a shout out to our buddy Dave from Grimwood Games. He says he makes his books come with free PDFs as well. So they are going to Kickstarter for the Ironbound system in 42 days and a couple hours. So we will be doing a live about that when it's getting closer. But anyway, back to Kralis.
Back to Kralis too. Yeah.
You can't beat the deal.
You can't. And what are some of the other really good things about this? Oh, no AI art. I mean, start there. He pays his artists. Free quick start guide to see if you're going to want to play the system to begin with. So he's going to let you test drive it for free. And then he uses the Creative Commons license for people should they want to make their own homebrew and third-party content. All he really wants is his name credited, his artist credited, and a compatible with Kralis sticker slapped on the book. Like, Everything that the D&D crowd wanted out of the OGL is part of the Kralis package. And you can get the entire system for less than the cost of one D&D book.
It's crazy. Also, I don't know if you can pull it up or if you have it bookmarked, but the Legends of Kralis, the Telarius Gaming website, he has free additional. Yeah, there's the website. If you go to Legends and Lore, so you can download all the stuff there. But Legends and Lore, he has additional species. He has different backgrounds, stuff, new abilities, all for free on the website. Granted, all of those are basically in playtest, but there is all this cool additional stuff for free on the website. You don't have to pay for the website. It's there. It's free. And it has additional species. Look at all those additional species. It has different backgrounds. It has really awesome things. And like I said, really, really cool art. Like,
yeah, it's
the Legends of Kralis system. It needs to get popular. It needs to get a following because it is so good. It is so well designed. And Levi, our good friend Levi, Telarius Game Master, has put so much love and attention to this. He's been building it since the 90s, his own system. He deserves it. He is one man in his office at home selling these books for so inexpensive. And like I said, you get so much out of it. It's I'm sorry, like, this is the best deal in TTRPGs.
Yeah, like, oh, man. Every time I go through this, I just see different things that I love looking at even more. Hey, look, there's the dinosaur people. Yeah, you're playing a dinosaur.
Yeah, that's the character I'm playing in our bi-weekly Saturday game that got canceled today. But yeah, he's got dinosaur people. He's on the verge of working on dragons as playable races. He's got a dragon type, like I think they're called the Draconics, that he's working on. And he's also a creator that will listen. He wants you to play his game. He wants to teach you to play his game. He will listen to what you say. He'll take your feedback. He'll try to accommodate you in any way. We played Savage Rifts on this channel with him, and I happened to be like, hey, Levi, is there any way to play a dragon in the Legends of Kralis? And he goes, no, but I'll work on it. And he's been working on it. And it's like, dude, you could just say no and be done with it. That's fine. Like, I'm Dragon X. I want to play a dragon, but if it's not possible or it's not going to fit, that's fine. You don't have to accommodate me. But he's the type of person that's going to try to accommodate everyone with his system. That might not always be the best thing, but he's a great guy and he deserves it. He deserves people playing his game, and I wish more people would.
No, it's an awesome game. But yeah, I mean, this is all why, like, definitely should be looking at games outside of Wizards of the Coast and outside of WotC. The value is just not there with D&D anymore. It's too cash grabby. It's too predatory, if we're just going to be completely blunt and honest. It's just a predatory business model now. It doesn't care about its consumers, and it's all about the greed.
And be careful getting those books early at 2 or 3 weeks before they're supposed to be out. Don't make a video on them. You might get caught by the Pinkertons.
God, could you imagine that? Like, they release it, you got your paying, you bought them on pre-order, so you spent $180, $160, whatever it is, on these books. You paid for your subscription, the D&D Beyond. You're on the master tier, so you're paying $5 extra per month, and you get your book, and you didn't look at the date, but it's like a full week early. And you wake up one morning and the Pinkertons are banging on your door while you're having breakfast. They come in and grab your computer, smash it to bits, and, walk out of your front room like, that's for downloading the books early.
Obviously, that's satire, but
I mean,
they did. I mean, it's satire, but it's not.
they did send the Pinkertons after somebody.
Also, I want to throw the friendly disclaimer out because I know there's going to be people if they see this that are going to think we're not saying if you enjoy D&D and you enjoy the product from Wizards of the Coast, keep playing it. We're not telling you not to. We're not saying that you shouldn't if you enjoy it. We're not trying to gatekeep you out of D&D. We're trying to just say there are other systems, and if you are as frustrated with D&D as we are, these are some options. Just look at them. That's it.
Like I said,
Like our buddy Grimwood said.
yeah. Like I said, I want to like D&D. It's what got me into the hobby to begin with. It was my whole personality for the better part of 2 decades. And I hate that I don't like it anymore because of what the company has done with it. It's like I want to like the thing that I used to love, and it's Wizards of the Coast has just made that impossible.
Yeah. And like I said, that's our disclaimer.
Yeah.
You don't have to stop if you don't want to. If you're enjoying it, great. We're happy for you.
Yep.
Play the game. But
Play the game
if you're like us.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, that is basically all we have to say on the matter. There are other systems for a lot better pricing than what this new D&D 2024 is going to be. I honestly think the pricing is absurd for what you're probably going to get. And I don't think that you should give your money to a company that continues to screw you over. But that's just my opinion. I believe Eric has the same opinion as me. But there's a few options. Honestly, Fabula Ultima, anything from Free League, Legends of Kralis. What was the other one we did?
Basic Fantasy.
Basic Fantasy. I wanted to say Dungeon Crawl Classics, but I knew that wasn't right. Basic Fantasy. So just check them out. There's a lot of TTRPGs out there. You don't have to be married to something you don't like. And that's all we're trying to say. Yep. So anyway, this has been The Ronin's Den. I'm Steve. That's Eric. Thank you for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you feel so inclined to do so, as this will also be on the YouTube channel. And have a wonderful night.
Take care.